About Charlemagne, a time when Europe was briefly reunited in that ninth century. I say briefly because it's not long after Charlemagne passes that his kingdom is carved up by his kids, and Europe again falls into trouble. An era of invasions, great invasions of what were called the Northmen, Norsemen, Normans, Vikings. These are the people from Norway, Sweden, Denmark. They were really pirates at the time. They were not Christianized. They were very good shipbuilders and seafarers, fearless sailors. They made it through very complicated rivers and waterways in Europe. And their land was becoming overpopulated. It's possible that Vikings practiced polygamy, and so that small land was becoming very overpopulated in what we know as Scandinavia. Regardless, they made their living plundering, and they attacked and brutalized the northern part of Europe. They were savage. They would attack, sail off with booty, come back and colonize an area later. In northwest France, they overran an area known as, they called at the time Norsemanland. Today we know it as Normandy. But it wasn't just Norwegians in the north. It was also what we know today as Hungarians in the east, Magyars. These guys weren't out to settle. They just wanted to plunder. And like the Vikings, their success depended on fear. In their first attack, every man, woman, and child would be killed. With a few exceptions, they might keep a few attractive women to rape and keep somebody alive to spread the story of their brutality. And so most areas would wind up submitting without a struggle or simply buy their freedom by paying tribute. But it wasn't just in the east. Down in the south, Muslims, the Moors, attacked Italy and Spain. In Italy, Muslims drove north to Rome, and they sacked the city in 846 AD. It was an awful period. But finally, by the middle part of this Middle Ages, the stuff we talk about here congeals into a system known as feudalism. It is said that in Christian society there are basically three kinds of people: those who pray, those who fight, and those who work. The praying class, the priestly class, or monks. The fighting class, the nobility. And the working class, the peasantry. We would find eventually a new merchant class starting to emerge later on in the Middle Ages, but that's going to take some time to get to. The peasants made up about 90% of the population of Europe, and their job was to meander through life, feeding the rest. It had been practiced for some time now, for hundreds of years, and the system that emerges essentially binds a peasant to either kick over a percentage of his produce to his lord, or to perform services on a lord's land, maybe 3 days a week or more during planting or harvest time. Pay your taxes, pay your lord a fee to get married, pay a fee to your lord if you want your child to inherit your land. But if you were born a serf, you died a serf. If you were born a peasant, you died a peasant. And that's really feudalism. Three fairly rigid categories in society that people remain in for this roughly 1,000 years in between the fall of Rome and the rise of the Renaissance. Now we're going to talk a lot more about this when we meet on Wednesday. We'll look at some of the readings, check your angel email for further instructions, watch those Monty Python clips, and don't forget to watch as well Dr. Weber's piece on the time of Charlemagne. We'll talk more Wednesday, and appreciate your patience and hope you guys had a great weekend. See ya.